Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with my review of the Pypes Off-Road Shorty X-Pipe, available for Pypes Long Tube Header equipped 2005 to 2010 GT Mustangs. Whenever you go from a shorty or factory header setup to a long tube, you're going to need to change your midpipe to a shorty midpipe. Now there are a few options out there, but the general rule of thumb tends to be that you should not mix brands. So if you want Pypes long tubes, you should stick with a Pypes midpipe. So as far as who this is going to be for, the Shorty X-Pipe is going to be for the GT Mustang owners that plan on upgrading to long tubes, but want to do so in a cost-effective way, so they're looking at the Pypes Long Tube Headers. Long tubes and a shorty midpipe go hand in hand since you need one to install the other, and usually those installing long tubes are looking for power gains and an improvement in sound as well. Long tubes and a shorty midpipe have a different iconic type of sound that's hard to ignore. And along the lines of gains, long tubes and a shorty midpipe usually give mid-range to top-end gains, generally speaking. And you may not necessarily be installing long tubes and a shorty midpipe for sound, but you are going to get a huge change in sound. The long tubes alone are going to change the sound of your exhaust, and when you combine that with changing the midpipe, you can expect a pretty big difference in sound, and you're looking at a brand new sounding pony when you're done. But looking more at the midpipe itself, we're looking at a 2.5-inch midpipe that's going to work with the Pypes headers. This is a stainless steel X-pipe, which is really nice to see from an inexpensive midpipe since the material of the midpipe drives the price point. But you get the best of both worlds here with a corrosion-resistant midpipe and a low price. This is an off-road X-pipe, meaning that it has no cats, and normally an X-pipe is going to have more of a louder, raspier sound as opposed to the deeper note of an H-pipe. Being catless means that this X will flow more than the factory midpipe would for sure, but you have to keep in mind things like emissions, and there's always that chance of the check engine light. But speaking of the check engine light, when you switch over to running long tubes, you will need a tune. A tune here will not only help you get everything out of those expensive mods, but one of the main purposes of the tune with long tubes is to turn off the rear O2 sensors so you won't be getting a check engine light. Circling back around to price, you're looking at spending just over $200 for this X-pipe right here. Also keep in mind that you won't be running this midpipe without a set of Pypes Long Tube Headers, so you can factor those into the price of the Shorty X-pipe. These items go hand in hand since you can't really install one without the other, which is another reason why long tube headers are an investment. So at the end of the day, you're looking at both power and sound gains here. Keep in mind that all of your gains will change depending on your setup and your tune, and in addition to that, you're also going to get an awesome change to your exhaust tone. The install of the X-pipe alone is not difficult at all. It's just a basic midpipe swap that doesn't involve removing any other items or any cutting. But since you'll most likely be installing this along with those Pypes Long Tube Headers, you can expect a project. Because of the combo install, you can expect a full 3 out of 3 wrenches on this one and a full day in the garage if you do decide to tackle this yourself. If you don't have a helping hand or you don't have much experience in this area, it might be better to just take the car to a shop for the install. If you do tackle this yourself, just know that you can do it on a jack and stands, but a lift would make it easier for sure. Like I said before, the midpipe is easy enough to install. The difficult part will be installing the headers. You're gonna need your toolbox for the install, along with an assortment of different sockets, wrenches, and extensions. A lot of this install obviously requires working in some pretty tight areas, so while everything is straightforward, getting access in this area is usually tricky. Having a helping hand in this case is really going to benefit you, but at the end of the day, it's all going to be worth it. So wrapping this up here, the Pypes Shorty X-pipe is going to be a must-have for anyone that's looking at running Pypes Long Tube Headers. It's an off-road stainless steel X-pipe, and as always, I suggest you check it out more online for yourself. I'm Stephanie, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.